Hey Duluth, so this is the third in our video series discussing the big five issues, and this week we're going to talk about streets. And when I say that, it is all caps with several exclamation points. It now seems like winter was forever ago, so it might be easy to forget how badly we struggled with plowing last winter and how terrible our streets were this spring. But let's be honest, it continues to be the case this summer. We've heard about the 30 additional part-time workers that were hired as summer temps to help fill potholes. Great, needed. And that's because the streets are literally as bad as we've ever seen them. But filling potholes is a Band-Aid. It's not a long-term investment. We've also heard a figure of 850% increase in street mile repair because of the half-cent sales tax. Now, I wrote that legislation, and I'm grateful we have that money to be spent on streets. But moving from 2 miles to plus or minus 17 miles a year of new street does not hold up against the over 450 that the city is responsible to maintain each year. It's actually only 3% a year, which means we would need 33 years or more to completely rebuild all of Duluth streets. Streets, utilities, and public safety are a basic expectation of citizens and taxpayers. They are the services that only local government provides, and when we don't, no one else does. So what tangible steps can the next mayor and administration take? First, let's apply a system approach. Examine and rate every street mile in Duluth. Green, yellow, red. Make it easy for residents to find and understand where their streets fall on the time to repair map. Second, again, let's take a systems approach. We need to ask ourselves, does every street mile actually need to exist? Are there connectors and access points that no longer serve a purpose? Reducing the inventory allows for more resources to be more concentrated. Third, we need to add staff in public works. We had 54 street maintenance staff in the 1990s. We now have 35. In this year's State of the City, the administration acknowledged that that number hasn't changed in years. That's roughly the same as the city of Superior, and we have 3 times the population. We've also added 20% more street miles since the 1990s. Staff will tell you they are 100% reactive. We need enough resources for staff to be proactive. We need enough resources for staff so that they can not only build a new street, but also seal and maintain it to extend the usable life. 4, we should bond against the half-cent dedicated sales tax. This is what St. Louis County did. They built up a big pot of money and then spent it in a couple of years in order to get over the hill of diminishing returns. The county spent $68 million in 3 years and now spends 20% of their half-cent on servicing that bond, and the remainder gets spent on maintenance of the new construction and some additional new street miles. In addition to the half-cent sales tax, we also currently have a $27 million budget reserve, $24 million left in ARPA funds, and $33 million in our community trust fund. All 3 of these funding sources are usable for new street construction. Finally, 2024 is a bonding year with the Minnesota legislature. We have the DFL trifecta and a record budget surplus. My goal is to build a coalition of regional centers plus Minneapolis and St. Paul in order to lobby the governor and the legislature for a generational investment in streets and utilities. Duluth, we have so much opportunity to do great things with our streets, and streets are a basic investment and responsibility for local government. Here's some tangible steps. I am absolutely convinced that we can get after it in Duluth's next chapter. Thank you, Duluth.